So you may be surprised to know that the woman who put Barack Hussein Obama in the White House is neither his wife nor his mother, this woman, Rosa Parks. She's a black woman who refuses to give up her seat to a white man and sparks nationwide protests that leads to the Black Revolution, gives birth to men like Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, and finally in 2008 puts Barack Hussein Obama in the White House as the President of the United States. I don't start with her story because it has President Obama. I start with her story because small actions create big results. As an investment banker, I'm in the business of creating big results. And before you get funny ideas about what I do, it's basically two things: increase your profit or cut your losses. Today, I'm going to cut some serious losses. Each of you sitting in this room, just by sitting here doing nothing, is losing $1,768. No, this room is not cursed. Don't rush to your families, because all of them, wherever they are in the world, are losing the same amount. Every child that enters the world, and those of us taking our last breath, are each losing $1,768. In 2016, the population of the world was estimated to be 7.4 billion, with each of the inhabitants of the earth losing $1,768 amounts to $12 trillion. Exactly the amount we lose when women don't join the workforce or are in the workforce but not living their full potential. Today, I'm going to help you cut this loss because it will transform all of your lives. And maybe, just maybe, we can spark a revolution from here. Let's get started. I will do this with 4 simple, real-life, powerful stories. And for the first story, I'm going to take you home, to my home, where we're 2 sisters, no brothers. So life gives my parents lemons, and they make lemonade out of it. The money that they should have put aside for our wedding, they take out the money, invest in our education, skill development, confidence building. And then they ask is a wrong word, they demand that we give them the best return on investment. It is not enough for my mother that my sister has entered engineering college, the top college in Pakistan, Ghulam Ishaq Khan, and this is a male-dominant industry. It doesn't matter to her. Nor the fact that she is one of the 12 girls in 250 plus students. No, my sister gets a target none of her male colleagues do: win a gold. She doesn't hear it once, or twice or thrice, but 365 days in a year, 4 years in a row, till she graduates with a gold. And she becomes the only woman engineer in her batch to win gold. And my mother is really excited and she gives her love and support. But then she puts her foot on the accelerator and says, "You can do better." Next time, my sister is chosen as one of the 16 people in the prestigious Erasmus Mundus Scholarship across the globe, and she completes her master's first from Netherlands, then from France. And the accelerator continues. And my mother pushed her to enter the top optical university in the world, the University of Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, before your eyes, a woman has broken into STEM: science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Why does it matter? Just ask Yahoo, Intel, Microsoft. They will tell you they're trying to attract more women into STEM, but it's not happening. Millions of dollars are being pumped into getting women into STEM, but it's not happening. Because unless we have the push from home, it will never happen. Lesson 1, the push starts from home. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. My sister was always brilliant, and she would have done very well without the push as well. Not won gold and probably not ended in the University of Arizona. But I was a very ordinary person, and tough love transformed my life. I was the most average of people. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and probably I would have skipped school, never completed college, had it not been for my mother. And her love and her patience and persistence forced me through school and college and university till I graduated with an MBA in finance. And that tough love gave me the courage to be at the top of my field. Till I managed the president of Pakistan's fund for $49.6 billion, handled 48 bilateral investment treaties of Pakistan with other countries, 3 free trade agreements, and became the government of Pakistan's expert on investment, trade, and finance. Thank you. Better is yet to come. I find a bank of my choice. And the president of the bank tells me that I could be the treasurer of the bank. Probably the first time in the history of Pakistan that a commercial bank was going to have a woman treasurer. Imagine, at 29. I'm excited. Who wouldn't be? Because I am at the top of my career. But guess what? Head of HR has another plan. So he takes me to the office of the president and unveils his own plan. You need to take an additional 3-month training before you are suitable. Okay. I lose my patience. I stand up, ignore the head of HR, look at the president in the eye and say, Madam President, I made a journey of 1,782 miles all the way from my hometown in Islamabad to Karachi just so that I could get this training. I know my stuff cold. I'm sorry, I'm not taking this training. And in that one moment, ladies and gentlemen, I was my most strong, most bold, most confident self. And probably it would have been this confidence and exuberance that I was literally fluttering out of her office. Hadn't gone too far till reality hit me in the face. What a fool I have been. I have said no to the head of HR, no to the president of the bank. I am making enemies before I'm making any real friends. So I give my mother a call and tell her, they're going to fire me because I didn't take the training, you see. She said, so be it. And for the first time in the recorded history of mankind, here was a person happily waiting for her termination letter. Guinness Book of World Record, please make note of my accomplishment. But seriously, to all of you women sitting in the room, I know how it is like when you want to raise your hand and you don't, for the fear that you would be the only one doing so. When you want to speak up in a meeting and you don't, for the fear of being wrong. When you want that promotion, you know you deserve it, and somebody tells you you need additional training, additional round, additional skills. I know how that fear is like. I have been there, trust me, almost on the verge of being fired. But here's my story. Things can turn a different way as well, as they did in my case. 4 days later, I received a letter which is not even my termination letter. It is a letter from the president of the bank to all the people in the bank saying I had been promoted, made a part of top 3 committees of the bank: Executive Committee, Executive Credit Committee, Asset and Liability Committee. Additionally, the trustee of the Provident Fund of the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, on the night of the memo, I learned a life-changing, career-altering lesson. In life, I'm going to have problems, and I will not have solutions for them. It will be very natural for me to look for a hero. I may not be able to find one. I will have to be my own hero. You need to as well. Thank you. If you want to harness your full potential, you all need to be the hero in your own life. Now, for the third story, I'm going to take you right from your seat all the way to Saudi Arabia. Because Heroes are a breed apart. They defy common logic and do things ordinary people don't. One thing heroes do is say no to free lunches. Sometimes free lunches come from very meaningful places, such as my client, the Saudi government. In order to entice women in the workforce, they have a program called Hafiz. So for 12 months, women get paid 2,000 riyals to do nothing but find a job. 5 years into the program, the Saudi government is petrified because women are doing anything but getting a job. As a consultant, they ask me, what do we do? I say, dump the Hafiz program because it is making women dependent on you. It is making women beggars because it is a free lunch. You need to change your approach. And so now they have a much better program in which stay-at-home women can work from the comfort of their home using technology, and these are the women that have signed up for success. The Saudi government ensures that they get paid only when they have said no to free lunches. Third lesson is to say no to free lunches. For my fourth and final story, life can be unpredictable, whether we are beggars or very rich people. And sometimes we get all of this useful advice from society and friends and culture and norm. One of these things is that women's chief aim in life is to get married, have kids, and do the housework. One of my friends literally took this advice to heart. So after she completes 10th grade, she's married, she is happy. She even has a ring in her left finger. The one we have when we get married or engaged. And so, she has 3 beautiful kids. Life is going on wonderful. And for those of us who have sort of criticized all of these well-meaning people, you're thinking, oh my God, they may be right. But then, one day, like lightning strikes your life, tragedy strikes hers. And she loses her husband without notice or warning. Sad. But do you know that the saddest part of the story is exactly 3 days after his death, she and her 3 poor children are on the street, helpless, hopeless, clueless. And ladies and gentlemen, neither the society, nor her friends, nor the well-meaning people, nobody comes to her aid or rescue. And at that point, that brave girl has to pick herself and her 3 kids literally off the street, find a job, provide a shelter for them. So if you ignore everything I've said, women in the room, I want you to notice this. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are, go find yourself a job today, because tomorrow is unpredictable. And the worst time to look for a job is when tragedy has struck. And tragedy does not only mean that your husband will die. It could be divorce, separation, uncontrollable circumstances. And when you earn, ladies, majority is right-handed. Can you raise your hands who are right-handed? Brilliant. So when you would earn with your right hand, right? When you do, please buy yourself a ring, ladies, in your right hand. This ring. Thank you. It signifies to the world that you're not fighting men, but you're only protecting your tomorrow. And this ring is first and foremost for yourself, and then for the world to say that you are protected. So I say this to the woman of the world, put your right hand up. And so now, I have shown you through 4 powerful stories how we can cut the losses $1,782. But I know while I was speaking, and especially on topics of women empowerment, how happy the women were. But I could see men getting nervous and thinking, what the hell is she talking about? Who is she? Let me introduce myself. I am a certified feminist. You know what that means? I even got married on 8th March, the International Women's Day, to prove it. Heaven conspired me to be a feminist. So when I had kids, twins, they were girls. But on a serious note, I wouldn't be standing here. I wouldn't be in front of you if it had not been for my mother. But more importantly, if it had not been for my father. He's sitting right here. You know, my father is my true courage, my strength. He showed me to walk the path. And he helped me every time I fell. And he taught me the art of rebound. I would not have been anywhere without my husband. My girls get the same legacy that I did from my father. All of my male bosses, my male colleagues, every male in this room is important to me. So I'm just going to address the males in the room. All of you, the males, I just need 20 seconds from your life. 20 seconds. There's a countdown. Undivided attention, please. Raise your hands if you have a daughter, a niece, a girl in the family. Brilliant. Then you would know these, the first pair of shoes you bought for her. Remember the first time she put her tiny fingers across yours and a bond was created? And that bond continued in school and college and university and on the playground. It went everywhere you went. But somewhere in the workforce, you just let go of her hand. Because fast forward 25 years and these shoes look like this. Of 100 pair of shoes in the workplace, only 14 belong to girls. Your girl may not be even one of them. Doesn't it kill you? For every 5 rupees that a man earns in Pakistan, a woman earns only 1. It is as if you're on the dining table. And then you serve your son 1 roti, 1 piece of bread, and your daughter less than a quarter? Would you allow that injustice to happen on your dining table? Then why allow it in the work field when she needs you the most? So I'm addressing all the fathers in the room, all the uncles in the room, and saying this. I'm your daughter in front of you. Remember our bond? Remember how you let go of my hand when I needed you the most? Please come back. I have no voice in the work field. You are my only support. Without you, I can do nothing. I need this money, not because I want to show the men in this room how powerful I am and how I can cross them, but because tomorrow is unpredictable. Please, bring your hand back to me. This time around, when I'm looking in this room, I can see a silent pledge from the men. And that gives me a lot of comfort, because finally, I can talk to the men and the women in the room combined. So when you walked in, probably you got a green ribbon like the one I'm wearing here. This is for the pledge. Wear this ribbon. But more importantly, everyone, we're doing this now, so put a hand on your heart, each and everyone. We're serious. I want you to pledge that you will push your sons to success, but push your daughters even harder. Ladies, you will be your own hero. You will say no to free lunches, and you will earn your own income. Men, you have already made a silent pledge that you would support your daughters. Now I ask you, do you pledge? A burden has been lifted off my heart, because when I walked into this room, I was uncertain about your response. But when I look into this room, I see promise, I see hope, I see possibility. Because if a woman, 41 years of age, black color, in an Alabama evening, rides on a bus, refuses to give up her seat to a white man, and by this single act of civil disobedience, changes the course of the world. Imagine what 350 people in this room pledging to save their $1,768 can do. The power is yours. Thank you.